繼續course Dr. Winnie Gosh 要來講。呢度小等人要講以前，我就簡單給你介紹。但先報告啦，第我是歡迎頭一擺來遮啦，歡迎你來。要緊就是講拜託你寫這個，剛才迄個sign up 信拜託你寫下來。另外是我遮有一寡物件 display， 阮所有記錄攏訂迄本，閣前2回講義迄個要點吼，這個黃志陽醫師寫嘅，放佇遐。我敢若印20分啦，所以無講真濟吼，所以你上好一個 family 摕1份就好。即馬這個。今仔日有真特別，就是講我有拜託這個 Samuel Lee 吼，千鋒迄個電視平台吼，伊要來甲咱翕，翕這個結果咱會放咧 internet， 所以咱會當講這個消息會當發去互目睭的人，因為我有影講過去2-3個月來無想到講外州的人寄真濟 check 來 support， 我感覺講我有這個義務，講這個消息愛傳互目睭的人，毋是干那獻切，大家攏會當用。所以我今仔日頭一擺試要拜託這個Samuel Lee吼，伊會當 professional quality video 翕落。那迄個website若知影，我來甲你講。今仔日當然上頭是這個林教授要講一寡迄個。這個宗教上的消息了後，若是有需要，你若講英文聽落，若需要講拜託林教授給你 summarize 的時陣，講出來是咱來 summarize。了後再休困，休困今仔日嘛是真清楚有特別迄個製作的物件吼，我小等下再給你解釋。休困以前我要簡單咱一個回顧，小可報告。了後再迄個 Q&A，Q&A 我有迄個照一寡迄個信條紙來，我小等下分，我放喺邊仔恁團過吼，恁會當寫，拜託恁佇休困的時陣，迄個你若要問啥物問題寫來，我要拜託林教授，這問題攏甲整理好勢，咱下半部分咱會當用較好勢。咱即擺來開始拜託。林教授，你going to share with us some news, religious news?
我來先講這個有關宗教的 news 啦。本來第一項是講這個 Pennsylvania couple on trial in prayer in the death of your son, age 2。這就是佇基督教的內底吼，有個足保守派，這就是講 Christian fundamentalism， 無要靠醫學啦，是要靠祈禱。伊一個囝2歲吼有 pneumonia， 照講會當用藥來個治療，伊無愛。要靠祈禱，結果死咧，所以即馬法院要甲伊 charge 講這是 involuntary manslaughter。即款你若看講，宗教目的本來是要幫助人、救人，但是若宗教若 misuse 變做害人，我想這是一種。宗教的 misuse 吼，即馬即個 Times Magazine 有一個10 question 吼，10個問題咧問一個 futurist， 即個是對將來的即個研究的專家啦，問10個問題吼，其中2個問題和宗教有關係啦吼，其中一個就是講科學有影響到這個宗教，世界的宗教有無？講有啊。 伊讲即个世界吼，渐渐咧演化做一个 one world culture， 世界级的即个文化。讲现在已经是 one world economy， 经济已经是一个世界。伊讲即个即摆吼，现代人吼拢会晓用电脑啦吼，即个来看即个资讯啦吼。伊讲现在吼，因为人足侪拢咧看电脑吼，internet， 所以因渐渐进入即个世界宗教 ，appreciate 即个 wisdom of world religion。所以讲，若100年前呢，认为吼。其他宗教拢唔捌，即马这就是科学的讲的吼。佫一项，伊问讲，科技的进步会当互咱对上神的感觉是甚物货啦吼？伊讲咱的即个文化，互咱安尼渐渐有即个知识，佫互咱更较 more spiritual。讲人类常常拢咧超越人的即个有限性，所以伊讲咱吼无讲永远拢徛起伫即个地球啦，会阁一直超越啦。所以人类吼拢会渐渐超越。即个意思就是讲，神是超越的，人也是渐渐咧超越，所以人甲神吼。伊渐渐接近的款吼。即马佫第三项是讲一个研究讲 happiness is having friend at church。这是迄个 University of Wisconsin Medicine 的一个社会学的即个教授，因一个 team 来研究的，讲若咧参加宗教的即个仪式啦吼，那伫美国是教会啦，我看这无限讲是干那基督教啦吼。讲你若伫迄个教会吼，有迄个 close friend 吼，你会生活会较快乐啦。伊讲虽然你教会一年无偌济遍，但是你若伫遐有好的朋友伫遐吼，你的生活会较快乐。这是发表伫即个12月，即 American Sociological Review 伫遐发表的吼。伫遐讲，即个教会参加教会活动，甲即个快乐吼，讲有互相关的，有差不多90%啦。即马最后一个 news 是 Billboard to proclaim Jesus' return on May 21, 2011。伊即个 CNN 我有听到啦吼，讲即个伫即个 Detroit 遐已经有20个即个 poster 吼，有写讲耶稣伫明年吼5月21日来啦。即个吼毋尔，即目的吼是要讲要叫人来信耶稣，信即个圣经是迄个绝对无错误的上帝的话啦吼。即个是对即个 Family Radio 即个 program 出来吼，因为即个作者吼，一个牧师吼叫做Harold Camping 吼，有一本书啦 ，Time Has an End， 讲时间有迄个结束啦。伊读迄个圣经了吼，伊讲研究了讲即个人类历史开始是11013 BC， 迄是人类历史的开始啦。迄个结束是2011年啦，明年啦。伊伫遮伊有 对这本册咧有册讲耶稣2011的这个5月21要来，啊，佫迄阵来佫过5个月吼，这个宇宙就咧全部安尼毁灭啦吼。啊，我家调查这个牧师吼，我以前都有捌读到伊的 news 啦吼。伊这毋是讲第一遍写这本册的，这本册伫Amazon.com 吼，迄 review 吼，若毋是 6 star 就是 1 star， 若毋是完全赞成的，啊，就是完全反对的。伊这完全赞成的拢是因迄派的人吼。但是伊伫1992年有写一本册咧预测这个目镜呢，啊，迄本册的题目就是1994。1994年，伫迄本册有讲起9月初5到17，即个中间耶稣的再临。而且讲较无定一日的，伊讲迄阵写讲，因为圣经有讲倒位一日咱毋知啦，啊，所以用安尼。啊，伊是1992出版的，啊，讲1994吼要发生。啊，伊拢有咧就安尼咧讲呢。我知影，我迄阵伫pennsylvania吼，迄个台湾朋友有诶嘛，拢咧听这，啊，拢准备迄个干粮啦、水啦，讲耶稣若再临诶时候，吼物件吼买无吼，就爱对接啦吼。啊，1994啊 September， 咱日子过去啊，耶稣无来啦。啊，这个新闻记者甲伊采访啦。讲你有测这个9月，这个1994耶稣要来，啊都无来嘞，爱安怎回答人家？讲我真欢喜耶稣无来，因为耶稣要，互咱上帝要互咱有机会去来悔改，啊所以上帝耶稣要来时间搁延长啦，啊所以无错误呢。伊虽然有册起无错，啊，即马搁咧有册，啊，即马有册搁有迄个一日的哦，迄5月11哦，没有5月11的哦，
总统就职变成他们跳。
哦，到我遮为止，若有还佫有啥物人咧？
我要甲你写一个迄个话吼，阮顶礼拜四。去林教授甲过一个牧师，我去听即个伫 UCLA， 啊有一个学生的 seminar， 伊是即个你会记 Dr. Cross， 来即个今年6月来讲吼，啊即个题目就是 Practicing Religion in Pluralistic Society， 我感觉真好啦，啊当然我无遐时间拢总讲，总是内底有几点，我感觉讲有价值通甲大家分享啦，啊 ，This is。I'm going to talk basic.
No problem. Yeah.
I'll use the English to cite. Okay. The first thing we听到哈，就是讲 all human being has the same creator, and God has many names. 这是伊所讲的哈。sorry， 小朋友们记下来，就告诉大家。所以伊这个就是伊这个 pluralistic religious society 迄个看。啊，另外一个迄个一个 Jewish rabbi, he asked a question. God, how can you be right and other people are not wrong? 因为咱过去是想讲 if we are right, other people are wrong. But 今仔日这个 pluralistic society, 咱爱进一步讲 how can you be right and other people are not wrong? 啊，伊提出一个最要紧的关键就是讲，咱来 can be humility. 伊讲伫即个历史上讲起来，咱的迄个信仰对历史上有哪一直变，所以你袂当坚持讲咱家己对。啊，若伫即个哲学上讲起来，啊，老实讲就是讲，咱毋是讲逐项拢知影，所以咱袂当讲 take stand， 讲我这一定是对，别人拢毋对，所以咱爱较谦卑，爱来了解别人。啊，若对神学上讲起来吼，是上帝创造这人类，上帝毋是大家拢相款，是每一个人拢无相，所以咱大家有无相款来的。我感觉这是 一个 statement 我感觉讲得真强，我感觉真好。就是讲 ，if you know only one religion, you know none。这是咱的目标。咱今仔日来遮，毋是讲咱家己的信仰，家己啊徛在，总是咱是要来听别人，会当坚强咱的信仰。上面一句伊讲就是讲 ，How can we be Muslim, Jews and Christians at the same time？ 当然，咱无讲信仰讲一位啦。上要紧的人甲问就是问题，伊就是讲咱对即个圣经节，还是讲可兰经，还是讲佛经，咱爱有 reinterpretation， 都爱另外用新的方法来解释。伊讲一个上头的名词就是讲 exclusiveness， 就是讲过去咱拢想讲，咱会想着别人拢比着 exclusive， 总是进一步就是讲 syncretism， 就是讲别项所有拢合起来，不问讲要做一个宗教，讲逐项拢有，总是咱知影讲过去做这拢失败，上尾伊感觉讲应该咱来徛伫 pluralism。就是讲，咱伫即个社会，无相款的社会，拢爱有迄个无相款。即摆开始要介绍吼 ，Dr. Ghosh， 伊是伫印度的迄个东城头卡台出世，伊伫遐受得到教育方面的博士。伊是一直拢伊的迄个信仰拢真开放，伊是完全相信即个甘地。咱所讲的，逐项拢爱开放、爱包容。伊的信仰比较靠我是 Ramakrishna， 伊靠到我来。所以伊来遮来美国了，当然伊家己有家己，伊毋是迄个博士，也是总是伊是做一个信者，伊真拍拼。伊是伫即个 interfaith 相当 active。伊是过去咱遮人家就有一个相当大 interface， 然后个 South Coast Interfaith Council， 迄是包括足侪无相款宗教，大家斗阵定来斗阵在促进代志。伊是正任的会长，伊真侪所定来拢同请去讲，所以伊思想足开放。同时伊也是参加伫迄个人权方面真强。明仔载伫迄个。West LA 迄边吼，伊有一个会，you please introduce us to the meeting tomorrow evening. Okay. So that some people live in the West Side may be able to go. Okay. Yeah. 所以今仔日足欢喜会当来听伊讲吼。咱阁有迄个 special video， 将来咱要放伫 internet， 会放出去，全国各地。Okay. Without further introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I'm really honored, and I want to thank the Taiwanese American Religious Study Association for inviting me. I'm really honored, and thank you for coming, all of you. And let's start with an Indian greeting. We do Namaste. And Namaste means the divine in me respects the divine in you, all of you. We have a part of the divine. We are all parts of the divine. It's like the ocean is the divine, and we are all little waves in it. So we are all part of the same thing. So if I hurt you, I'll be hurting myself because I'm hurting a part of me. I'm either hurting my arm or fingers or whatever, so I'm hurting a part of me. So the Hindu religion, we are taught that we have the divine in everybody. That means we can't hurt anybody then, because if I hurt anybody, I'm really hurting myself. That's the basic thing of Hinduism, and that's what Mahatma Gandhi followed, and he really propagated to the whole world, that non-violence, not only to human beings, but all living beings. Some of us Hindus, we even treat plants as a living being, so we don't hurt them. We can't just be environmentally unconscious and cut them up and throw them away. We have certain ways to cut the plant, certain times to cut the plant. At night, we just don't pick up and break the flowers because we think that's the time plants are sleeping, so let them sleep. but in the morning you cut them, you prune them. So it's non-violence to all living things. And our main prayer is a mantra, which is mantra means a prayer or a chant for peace. And we pray, O Lord, let the whole world be happy. Loka samastya sukhuino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And Shanti means peace. And we always say peace 3 times. You'll always see in Hindu prayers, Om, peace, peace, peace. The peace first, to have any kind of peace, peace has to come from within you. So internal peace is the first peace. The second peace is peace immediately surrounding you. If everybody's shouting and screaming over here, you can't have peace. So first you have to have peace within yourself, then peace in the immediate surroundings, and then peace in the whole universe. Sky, if there's a big thunderstorm going on, you really can't have peace. So we pray for peace for the universe. So Hinduism, the first thing to know is we say peace, which is Shanti, 3 times. Internal peace, immediate surrounding peace, and then peace for the whole universe. And I like to start with a prayer which is actually a student and teacher, or right now I'm in the teacher's position. So it says, Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavavai Tejasvi Navadimastu Ma Vividavasa. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Meaning, Om, let us all protect each other together. May all of us enjoy this together. May all of us work together, and let our study become wonderful and radiant. Let there be no hatred between us. Om, peace, peace, peace. Now what we must know is the Hindu religion is unique in the sense that it is the only major religion of the world that can neither be traced to a single founder. We don't have a single founder of the Hindu religion, nor a specific theological system. It's composed of many systems, nor a central religious organization. Like the Christians, the Catholics have Pope, and the Pope is the head, or the Lutherans have the priest as the head. We don't have a single thing like that. Nor do we have a single book like the Quran or the Bible or the Torah. We have many, many books, and we have put them all together and formed the Hindu religion. The classic theory of the origins of Hinduism, it traces back to the Indus Valley civilization, which scientifically has been proven to be around 3000 BC. 2500 BC to 3000 BC. And what Hinduism has done is it first started with the Aryans invading India. Then slowly all the people have invaded, and Hinduism has sort of absorbed all the religions, all the cultures, and it has grown that way. The bottom line is what we say, Hinduism is a religion of for the individual, by the individual, of the individual. It's a very democratic religion in as much as it doesn't have any fixed rules as such. We are not scared of, we don't have to pray so many times a day. You can be a good Hindu and pray once a day. Or you can be a very good Hindu and pray 5 times a day. We don't have any strict rules. If it doesn't suit you to pray 5 times, okay, you pray once. Main thing of Hinduism is to be a good person. There is no conversion. We have no practice or no rules for conversion to Hinduism. Like Vivekananda, when he came to the Parliament of Religions, I'll show it on the board, he said, if you're a good Hindu, be a good Hindu. If you're a Christian, be a good Christian. If you're a Buddhist, be a good Buddhist. If you're a Muslim, be a good Muslim. So it's not that you have to convert or run to different churches, different cults, different gurus. Just go to whichever your heart desires and concentrate on that. Focus on what you're doing and be good at it. It's not that, okay, Christianity is so good. Okay, Hinduism is so very good. Oh, Islam is so very good. Every one of the religions are good because it's the wise sages, it's God's inspiration into these sages, into these prophets that gave us. He sent his son to the earth. So it's all through them. So every religion has good in it. And it's all the same. The philosophers in 3000 BC, when there was no interfaith or nothing, but the philosophers, the wise sages in Hinduism, they wrote, all truth is the same. Sages call it by different names. So, like all of you, what was your target? Your target today was to come here at 2 o'clock. So it doesn't matter if you took 405 or you took 710 or you took Rosemead Boulevard, but the main target was coming here. So our main target is to reach the divine in the end, to get absorbed in him, whatever you call him, heaven or eternal bliss, or like the Hindus say, we get absorbed in the divine power. Our main target is to be that. So how we reach it, whether we reach it through Hinduism or Christianity or Buddhism, it doesn't matter. But just reach that power. That should be the end goal of our lives. The eternal and supersensuous truths discovered by ancient sages are the foundation of Hinduism. These sages, they preferred to remain anonymous. We don't have any names of who wrote the Vedas or who wrote the Upanishads. We have all our books, but who wrote them? They are all anonymous. Because what they said was like the law of gravitation. It was always there. But Isaac Newton discovered it. But it wasn't a law that Isaac Newton did. It was God's law. It was always there. So whatever Hinduism preaches, it was always there. Like this one, truth is the same. Sages call it by different names. Kill nobody, be good, don't tell lies. These laws were always there. Nobody invented these laws. So that's why the sages wrote these books and they said, the divine power is in each one of us. Now, no sage did it. It was always there. So they said, the sages said, we don't want any names, our names to be published. We are just publishing in the books, or we are the oral texts that we are writing. Let them say it's the cosmic laws and we are just putting them down. These are all eternal truths. We have many different Hindu sacred texts. Let me, if someone wants to know. Now this is not mine, so I won't know how to go. No. Okay. Okay, these are the Hindu sacred texts. Among the many, the Vedas, and the Vedas, there are Rig Veda, Samaveda, Ayurveda, Atharva Veda. Then there was the most famous Hindu book is the Bhagavad Gita, many of you must be knowing. It's followed by many religions. Bhagavad Gita is one of our books. The sacred texts include Upanishads, Ramayana, Mahabharata, the Brahmanas, the Sutras, Puranas, and the Aryanikas. Out of that, I'm sure you've heard of the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana and Mahabharata are two of our big epics and very, very famous epics. And I'll show you some pictures later on of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Hinduism is referred to as the eternal faith or as Sanatan Dharma. It is based on the practice of dharma, or in English dharma is the code of life. The most important aspect of Hinduism is being truthful to oneself. Hinduism has no monopoly on ideas. It is open to all. Hindus believe in one God, but expressed in different forms. For them, God is timeless and a formless entity. When we imagine God, sometimes we let our imagination run wild. So Any way you want to imagine God, you are allowed to imagine him or her in the way you would like. If you would like God to have so much brains that he needs 10 heads, imagine him that way, we are told. If you imagine a God with 10 hands, because God does so much work, you imagine him that way. If you want to imagine God as nothing but formless entity, just a light, you imagine him that way. So we have no fixed, nothing telling us that you have to imagine God as this way. You imagine him in any way, but imagine him and pray to him. That's the basic thing. God is in everything and God is everywhere. The scriptures, the Upanishads, Gita, tell us to love and pray to that supreme abstract authority that is the creator of this universe, and that is in every one of us. That is in every living being or thing. Loving each and every creation of God is absolute and real, because God is present everywhere and in everything. Hinduism believes in the harmony of all religions. All true religions, as I said, lead to the same goal. Just have a target, they tell us, and go and reach that target in any way you can, in any code, following the ethics of your code. Follow him. And again, we say that Swami Vivekananda asks a Christian to be a true Christian, a Hindu, a true Hindu, a Buddhist, a true Buddhist, a Muslim, a true Muslim, a Jew, a true Jew. It's no use running after this religion to be the truth, that religion to be the truth. Whatever religion you believe in, that is the truth. Make your mind very, very, Hinduism tells us, that make your mind very, very stable and be very confident that you are following the right religion. But just do the right way, right? Do it the right way, follow the right path. That's the main thing. Some people run to this guru, even in Hinduism, sometimes this guru comes up, that guru comes up. Hinduism says you don't have to follow, don't get distracted. Follow your single goal, and the main aim of your life is to attain that bliss, which some people call heaven. Hindus, I'll tell you later on, we believe in reincarnation and the theory of karma, which means if you're doing good, you're adding up plus points, and then you become something good in the next life, or you do bad, you fall down. But if you do very good in life, your end object is to get out of this life of birth and death and misery, because if you are born, there are three things you have to do. You have to pay your taxes, you have to suffer some miseries, and you have to die. And to die, you do suffer illnesses and all that. So its best thing is to get rid of these cycles and to be one with the divine power. And that's the ultimate bliss. And that's heaven, I think, to be completely absorbed in that divine power. You'll find complete happiness. So that's the end goal of every human being, Hinduism treated as. The most sacred symbol of Hinduism, as you have seen, is this. You've seen it in, I saw some, in that chart and all. Everywhere Hinduism is referred to as this. It's like a 3 with a squiggly tail and some like a half moon on top. And we pronounce it Om. Om.
Is there something like a tantric later?
Yes, Om. They have taken a part of Hinduism. In the middle, Hinduism went through a lot of stages. So, like Buddhism came once, and also Buddha, as you know, he was born a Hindu, he died a Hindu. But then the Buddhists, and we still pray and we respect Buddha. So, and Buddha, then the Tantric came from there. So the Tantra also took Om from Hinduism, and it was one line of Hinduism. And it's pronounced Om, and it's called the primordial sound. We believe that was the first sound, and all sounds came from Om. And if we believe A stands for creation, U stands for preservation, And sounds for destruction. Shiva, destructed, because it's everything is recycled. So you are born, you are preserved, you go through life, you maintain yourself, and then you die. A tree sprouts up, lives up to a certain age, dies, and the seeds grow again. So everything is recycling. So you have to be destroyed to create life again. So that's Om. And the Om sound, Joseph Campbell, the cosmologist, he has a lot of research he did on the Om sound, and he calls it the unheard hummings of atoms and molecules. And he says if you cover your ears and there's silence, you will hear Om. Actually, that is the blood in your capillaries, but you will hear Om going on. If you are really silent and you don't hear my voice, then you'll hear the Om going on. So, of Om, it's very relaxing. If you really close your eyes, and sometimes I meditate like that when I'm going through too much. When my husband was very sick, I used to do that kind of meditation. Just a light, if you have a small light in the room and nothing else, close the door and you go on Om, Om. As long as you keep your breath, it really makes you focus. And Joseph Campbell, as it says, Om is the sound of the radiance of God. And this is the most mysterious and important thing to understand. But once you get the idea, it's very, very simple. Many people say there are many gods in Hinduism. They say, oh, you have so many gods. You have gods with 10 heads. You have gods with 10 arms. Now, but you must know that true Hinduism, Hindus believe in one God only. There is only one God in Hinduism. Hindu deities, the Hindu worship of many deities, sometimes is known as polytheism. It's not polytheism, it's more a scientific term, monotheistic polytheism. So just like I or you can be a father to somebody, you can be a brother to somebody. Right now, I'm sort of a teacher coming here to talk, a speaker. But as soon as I step out, I go home, I become a wife to somebody. I have different forms. I become a mother, I become a sister, I become a friend. So God also we can picture in different forms. So sometimes He is the preserver, sometimes He is the creator, sometimes He takes the horrible form of destruction. Shiva is the horrible form of destruction, but then He becomes the omnipotent form of creation too. So He is recycling the world, we say. He destroys the evil and brings out the good. So Shiva is that, and one must clearly understand that Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar or Shiva are not three independent deities. They are the Hindu trinity they are called. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the preserver or maintainer, and Shiva is the destroyer, and the recycling process starts again. And again, the oneness of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar is again brought out in Om. A, U, M. A is for creation, and the whole world was created. U was everything is preserved, and it destroys everything. So I have some pictures for you to see. Lord Brahma is the three-headed deity who brings forth creation. Lord Vishnu maintains the universe, and creation begins again. But again, these are forms for you to understand, for people to imagine. Like when you're a student, you're studying, okay, you're studying this. You just don't, when you're a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old, you don't go to kindergarten and start reading an encyclopedia. You need to learn your ABCs. So in Hinduism, we say we have these gods with these images for little, for the younger ones, not in age also, but in educational, religious education, to imagine God. My son would never pray. But as soon as we started praying and we had an image of the goddess of learning, he would pray to her before going to an exam. He would say, oh God, goddess of learning, and she's called Saraswati, give me an A, let me get an A. So that's how you start. It's the ABCs of religious learning. Then as you mature in age and in religious, you read good books and knowledge and all that, you realize these things, you leave behind slowly these things. And then you slowly start to concentrate, meditate, and then go into the deeper stuff when you just think of whatever, a light or whatever is your aspiration. But these things have to be there. They are the ABCs of religious learning, we say, for the Hindu. But some people keep it because we say there are 4 ways to attain God or to go to divine. One is karma yoga. Karma yoga is through work. You don't have to worship God, but do all, some people like Mother Teresa. She did so much good work, she attained God through her work. Like some of our musicians, Ravi Shankar, Ali Akbar Khan, they can attain God through their music. Ravi Shankar, Ali Akbar Khan, they can play such a way that they really attain God through that. So you can attain. You don't have to just sit in the temple and pray, pray, pray. You can attain through work. Then there's Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is affection or fondness. You love God so much and you pray so much, you can attain God. So everything you do it well. And then there is Jnana Yoga. Jnana means knowledge. So you can attain God through knowledge. You read up so many of his books, you get so very absorbed in the studies about God, you can attain God through that also, just by reading good books and attaining, really not reading, but having that good knowledge in you. So that's called Jnana Yoga. And the last and the most important and the best thing is to have Raja Yoga. Raj means king. So the king of all yogas is Raja Yoga, which is combining all, combining Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, you become Raja Yoga. So you combine good work, you combine good reading of all the good religious material, and you combine worship and praying and doing your rituals. You combine all these and then you can attain God through Raja Yoga. Hinduism recognized from the very beginning, this is one of the feministic things, they gave a lot of power to the feministic form of God, and they recognize that the divine contains both masculine and feminine attributes. Without giving proper honor to the feminine qualities, a religion will be incomplete and one-sided, which must result in its teachings having negative consequences. Without recognizing the feminine aspect of divinity, one cannot claim to know God. To recognize the feminine is necessary to restore wholeness, completeness, and universality. How can you recognize the divine without recognizing the feminine power of it? We are all here, we are recognizing the masculine and the feminine. So Hinduism says the feminine power, and in fact they say the feminine power is the power behind the gods. Like for Lord Brahma, he has a wife Saraswati. So he created, but the power he needed to create that was the feminine form of divinity. So then where is it? Oh, then all these gods come. These are all the spouses or escorts of the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, these are all. Goddess Durga, she is the goddess of power. Lakshmi, she is the goddess of wealth. Ma Saraswati is Ma means mother. So we all call them Mother. Mother Durga, Mother Lakshmi, Mother Saraswati. They are all the mother goddesses. But this is, again, this is symbolism. We are recognizing the feminine form of divinity. And what we have done, as you can see, there are some animals. Each god has an animal pet. And when we do any ritual to a god, we pray and we do ritual to a pet too. And that is, now we have come to realize that it's not that we are praying to the animal as such, but we can't do bad things then to the animal. You just can't go and kill the animal. Okay, if you want to eat it, then it's a different thing because that's a need. So that's where animal protection had come in. During 3000 BC, they had thought of all this. They had thought of the feminine power. They had thought of being nice, being consideration towards animal life. And Hinduism had also done a lot about environmental protection. You must remember, this is all the sages are thinking 2,500 years back. They have written these things. And they have written these things not to do worship to the animals as such, but to do kindness, to take them into consideration. Animals are not to be done away with and at our pleasure. We have to have certain guidelines for our treatment of the animals. So hence the pet animals came. So we see that the feminism and animals all come in, and they all come into the whole big aspect of ahimsa or non-violence, which was Mahatma Gandhi's main thing. Out of Hinduism, he says all these things about these gods, these so many images, so many deities, these are not the main thing. The main thing is non-violence. What we learn from the whole Jing Bang lot of so many books, so many philosophies is all these are gods, so you must respect them, you mustn't kill them, you must be good to them, and that is the main thing is ahimsa. So when Martin Luther King, he read a lot about ahimsa and non-violence, and he said that was the best form to fight the civil rights movement. And he went to India. When he reached India, he went to Mahatma Gandhi's, his city, and his ashram, we call his village. And he said, I've come to India not as a tourist or as a politician, or I've come to India as a pilgrim. This is my pilgrimage. And he did. He paid respect to Mahatma Gandhi, and he realized that ahimsa is the main way to fight. You can't fight, as if every time we were hurt, we said eye for an eye, then everybody would be blind in this world. So Mahatma Gandhi realized that ahimsa is the only thing. Nuclear power, all these things can't get you anywhere. Main thing is non-violence. You have to breed non-violence in our next generation. Hinduism recognizes the diversity of the human mind and the potential for a different level of spiritual development in each individual. Hinduism does not thrust everyone into the pigeonhole of a single creed. And that's what I was talking about, that Hinduism doesn't say you have to pray so many times, you have to fast so many times. My mother, she fasts every day nearly. Mahatma Gandhi used to fast so many days a week. But I don't fast, I eat. But, that doesn't mean I'm a bad Hindu. So everybody can have their own style of practicing Hinduism. I believe in rather having this kind of talks. I believe in having UNA, USA preaching Human Rights Day. So, but I know I'm doing the right thing by, as a Hindu, because I'm following the code of life. Instead of praying the whole day, I prefer once in a morning I pray, once at night I pray, but the whole day I want to I want to tell people, I want to teach the future generation not to hurt each other, to be non-violent, because they will be our future leaders. We have to teach them that nuclear war and armies and all these things get you nowhere. They are good, okay, keep them, but the main thing is you have to be ahimsa. You have to realize that you can't hurt anybody. The divine power is in everybody. You have to have the path of peace if we want to survive in this world. We can't just go on taking revenge and vengeance and all those things. So some Hindus may begin the day by going to a temple, or some Hindus may have just a small little temple in their own house, in their bedroom. They can have a small corner with some deities or with the Bhagavad Gita and pray to that and start the day. Or they can go to the temple and say the whole thing with the priest and start the day. So it's all different with different people. So that's why we say Hinduism is for the people, by the people, of the people. As you want, you sort of structure your religion according to your desires, but do have that religious feeling, the code of life in you. And there are other goddess, you must have seen the elephant god, and Durga, Ma Durga is the goddess of power. She had 4 children, 2 boys, Lord Ganesh and Lord Kartik. Lord Ganesh, he is the remover of all obstacles. Lord Kartik is the god of factories and all workers. And then the 2 daughters are goddess of learning and goddess of wealth. And this is Krishna. I don't know how many of you have read the Bhagavad Gita, or which comes from the Mahabharata. He is, every time it's said in Hinduism that every time the world gets very evil and there are too much of evil forces, God comes down in the form of a human being. So one time he came down as Rama, which was Mahatma Gandhi's God. He died with the word, "Oh Rama." When he was shot, he just said 2 words, "Oh Rama," and then he died. So God came down once as Rama, and Ramayana, if you read, you'll read that Rama is the ideal son, the ideal brother. Whatever is ideal in a man is Rama. We all hope to be, our sons to be Rama. He's the ideal son, he's the ideal king, he's the ideal brother, he loved his brothers. So the ideal everything, ideal masculinity is Rama when God came down as Rama. And his wife was Sita, and you'll hear a lot about that every Hindu woman, if she's, the biggest compliment you can give her is call her mother Sita. Because Sita, she was the epitome of innocence, of virginity, of purity, everything that is good in a woman is found in Sita. So Ramayana is that epic. And Mahabharata is an epic where it's a fight against good against the evil. So they went on doing non-violence and non-violence, the good people, until everything was taken away from them. But these brothers went on doing non-violence. But in the end, when the evil kingdom came and started punishing and being cruel to the subjects and taking away the things of their subjects, then they declared war. So Mahabharata is the story of the war, and Gita, Bhagavad Gita, that's one of our holy books, and it's a very good book. You all should all read it with translations. It's a very, very good book of philosophy, Hindu philosophy, and that was composed in the battlefield of Mahabharata. And then we have Rama, Sita. Here's Radha Krishna of Mahabharata. Ram, Sita, and Lakshman is the brother. And this is Hanuman. I don't know whether you've heard, the monkey god. In fact, President Obama wears a locket of, because he was brought up in Indonesia, he wears a locket of Hanuman. And this is the monkey god, because the monkey god, he destroys all your obstructions and he takes away all the obstructions, and he's the epitome of faith. If you really believe in something, he showed that you can achieve it. So Obama wears this locket. because he was in Indonesia and there are a lot of Hindus in Indonesia. So from small, he wears this locket of Hanuman. So this time when he went to India, he said, even if I don't see the Taj Mahal, it came out in the Indian papers, even if I don't see the Taj Mahal, that's okay with me, but I have to see the biggest Hanumanji, monkey god temple. Now monkeys can be very, very mischievous. And wherever there is a monkey temple, monkey god temple, we don't hurt the monkeys. So there are lots of monkeys around. So Secret Service had a horrible time because there are lots of coconut trees and the monkeys break the coconuts and throw it on the people. They are very clever. So they throw it on the people. So the Secret Service had to clear all the coconut trees of coconuts. So that was a big thing going. This was just an anecdote I gave you, but that's the monkey god. Now we come to the thing of the caste system. Now every religion most of the religion in the Middle Ages or a little before that went through a bad period of time. In Christianity, you must have heard of the Medicis. The priests then thought of themselves as God, and they collected all the wealth possible. So that was the time, or little before that, when the caste system was established in Hinduism. It wasn't that bad an idea. Why I say it was like a guild system, like they had in Europe, the guild system. If you belong, if you're a daughter of a priest, you come from a priest family, then if you go to a farmer's house, you'll have problems because you've always been brought up reading books, doing rituals, worshipping God. So that's why they thought we'll have this caste system. So the Brahmins, the higher caste the priest caste will marry into a priest class, the worker class will marry into a worker class. The idea grew from that. But then the priest class thought, oh, this is a very good idea. If I'm priest, my son will be priest, my grandson will be priest, and the priest gets all the sacrifices and all the donations. So we'll be rich. My grandson will be rich. I'll be rich through the generations. So they said, let us tell the people that there are four castes. And they started enforcing it thoroughly. And of course, it became very enforced. And it was a terrible thing to happen. The four castes were Brahmin, which were priests and religious officials, the Kshatriyas, which are the rulers or warriors, the Vaishya, which are the farmers and merchants, and the Shudra were the servant classes that did all the work for the people. They were like slaves. And the Brahmins at the priestly class thought it was a very good thing and they had a very good way of life. But it was going on in all over the world at that time. The priests were enjoying too much power. Then what happened was, after this, when the Aryans, actually India was populated by Dravidians before, around that 3000 BC, 2500, all this is happening around that time. Then when the Aryans invaded India, now the Aryans are the white-skinned, light eyes, and the Dravidians were the dark-skinned, dark hair, dark eyes. When the Aryans invaded, they said, oh, this is a very good system. We will take on, because we will become the priestly class. And they created another class which was called untouchables. And what they did was all the dark complexioned, they were the Dravidians, they said all the dark complexioned class becomes, not even the slaves were the Shudras, they become the untouchables. What they do is clean the toilets, clean the latrines. In Hinduism, of course, we burn the dead, right? When you die, you burn the dead. So they said all the dark complexioned ones, they will become the untouchables. They will clean all the dirty stuff and they will burn the dead and they will be untouchables. So, and this became the thing through the ages. Of course, now it's completely outlawed in India. The caste system is completely outlawed in India, but many of the attitudes still remain ingrained in Hindu society, especially in the villages. Now let me tell you, I hated it, but I'm of the Brahmin class. But because our family followed Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's first thing was break the caste system. So I married into a Kshatriya, a Vaishya class, a business class. So that, just to show. So most of us educated society, we are trying to break the caste system, and we do. We have said, especially in the next generation, there's nothing at all. Still our generation, there was a thing that, a Brahmin girl has to marry a Brahmin husband, has to. But this generation, it's completely forgetting what's a Brahmin, because from your name you can tell whether you're a Brahmin, whether you're a Vaishya, what class you are. From your name you could tell. But it's completely outlawed now. And though in the very rural villages, in the near villages, it's going out too, because now we have cable TV and they're seeing all the, they know more about Santa Barbara and what Dallas and all those shows than us when we go to India. So they know that the caste system has to be broken. But in the very rural parts, some villages, there are no electricity or anything. So they still believe, and some of the politicians, they are doing, they sometimes fan these things and they say, okay, I'm Brahmin, vote for me, that kind of thing. But it's changing fast with this new generation. We are happy to say that the caste system is completely being broken. Excepting, again I'm saying, excepting in the very, very rural villages. Now we come to, I'm giving you, Hinduism is a very long subject, lots of books written. I'm just giving you, touching on brief things so that you know a little the yoga. Yoga has become quite a fad over here with exercise and stretching and all that. But yoga actually means the plus sign. It means you plus God. So your union with God, what you have to do, the way you take your breath, the way you do your asanas, your exercise, everything is leading you towards that end, to be one with God. So that's yoga. It means the union of an individual with the supreme universal spirit. And Patanjali was the main one, and he had lots of yogas, but actually he summarized them all into 8 parts of yoga. And there are different things which I don't want to get you into. In case you want, if you were asked in my question answer, I'll let you know what these are. I don't want to now go into each one. So yoga basically started with the main thing, union of the individual with God. Reincarnation. Okay, according to Hinduism, a soul reincarnates again and again on earth till it becomes perfect and reunites with its source, which is God. During this process, the soul enters into many bodies, assumes many forms, and passes through many births and deaths. And this is connected with the karma theory. The soul passes. Why does it pass through many bodies and many souls, many deaths? Because it's the karma theory. If you do good, you're born into a good, and you go higher and higher up the ladder. If you do bad, you step down the ladder. If you're a murderer, you might step, lots of steps down. So the karma theory and the reincarnation are connected together. And we think, the Hindus think that, thank you so much. Thanks. The Hindus, they think death, they don't take death as a very, sad thing, or we are told that just as a man discards the old, thank you, the man discards his old clothes and gets into new clothes, death is just like that. You discard your old body, but the soul lives on and on and on until it merges with the divine power. Just like just like the rain is a part of water. It falls and somehow it ends up in the stream, and then the stream will in the end become a river and end up in the ocean. So we are like that drop of water. We will go through life, but somehow we'll find a way through rivers and nooks and crannies and streams and lakes and get in. Our main target is getting to the ocean. Like all the water systems in the world, their main target is somehow to get to the ocean. So the main target of each soul is to get to the ocean, which is the divine power. And that's reincarnation and karma. The karma theory is connected with, and what they say is every second there is someone born in the palace, a baby is born in the palace, and a baby is born in the beggar's house. So why is it? What's the logic behind it? The sages ask that. What's the logic behind in the same moment of time, one soul, one baby is born in the king's palace and one is born in the beggar's house. One is born beautiful, one is born maybe with some disability. Why is this? Now prove this logic. And they say this is because of the karma in his previous life. He's born that way. And then during this life, he can, control his karma. He can do away, he can absorb all his bad things and get into a better life. This is what the Hindus logically come to the conclusion. So karma and reincarnation comes that way. I should finish now, huh? This is Hinduism. This is just a chart, I thought, 2005. It's the third organized religion. Christianity is 33%, Islam 21%, non-religious, agnostic, atheist, all grouped together 16%, Hinduism is 14%, and the rest. This is the chart I thought would be good for you all to see. It came from adherence.com, 2005. Okay, now comes my best part. I have to say a little bit of that. During the Middle Ages and after that, Hinduism started getting corrupted with all the caste system and too much of ritualistic, too much of tantrism in the bad way. So we needed a renaissance. And Sri Ramakrishna was born in 1863, and he started to revolutionize, and he took us back to the real basics of Vedantic system, of Vedanta, of the Vedas, that was given to us by the sages 2,500 years back. And he came up with no caste system, nothing, everything. He started sort of revolutionizing the whole thing. He was the one who said, he read from the Vedas, and he practiced. Hindus are not supposed to eat beef, right? We are not allowed to eat, we are not supposed to eat beef. Why? Why was that? Because cows gave us, at that time, when in 2000 BC, we were an agricultural society. Cows gave us everything. Cows gave us milk. Cows helped us fertilizing, plowing. Cows pulled the plow. So we depended because we were agricultural. So they pulled the plow. Then cows, the manure was given by the cows. So cows provided everything for us. So what the sages said was, okay, let's make it holy. If you kill all the cows and eat them, then where will you get the cows to pull your plows, to fertilize the ground, and to give all the milk that we needed? So they said, okay, let's declare cows are holy, so nobody can eat. So that's how cow being holy came into. And now we are not even agricultural, we are purely industrial, and lately we've become very IT oriented. So my son says, now I can have beef because he loves steaks. He said, Mom, you taught me that this is the thing. So, okay, now I can have beef, and I love steak. So Ramakrishna, what he did was he practiced Islam, he practiced Christianity. He gave up Hinduism, and for a few days for a few months, and he read up all the Quran, everything he read up, and he said, it's a beautiful religion. because India, we have so many Muslims. So first thing he did was he read up the Quran and said, why do we fight? So let me see what's wrong with it. He read up and he said, it's a beautiful religion. It's a peace, religion of peace. But people, I don't know why they do this. Again, it's the imams and all that control the people and put all kinds of things in their head. But anyway, then he practiced Christianity and he said, oh my God, this is the best religion. This is so good. But then in the end said, but I was born a Hindu, so let me go back to Hindu. But he preached everything. And in his temples, in our temple, I belong to this group. We have a very good temple, the Hollywood Temple. If you ever get a chance, do go to the Vedanta Society of Hollywood, because we have over there some of the nuns and some of the priests. They are Americans and they are Christians. They practice Christianity and they practice Vedanta. For Christmas, we'll have a huge Christmas Day ceremony and all that. So we practice. So, and in our temple in India, we have a huge temple. This is our headquarters in India. It's a beautiful, beautiful temple near Calcutta. We have the Quran, the Bible, the Gita, and the Torah. There is a room, we have all the 4 books, and we can go and meditate over there. So he said all religions are the same, and everybody belonging to our religion, we can't denigrate, we can't lower any other religion and say this is a good religion, that's a bad religion. Every religion is a very good religion. And he said all the untouchables come to my temple. All the untouchables are my soulmates. And he brought all the untouchables in. So I really believe in Ramakrishna, and Sharada Ma, as you know, the Hinduism says Ramakrishna is our, I really believe in him, and Sharada Ma is the power. And Ramakrishna never touched coins or money. So one of the disciples one day, just to test him, they put some coins underneath his mattress. And he didn't know. So he came and he sat on the mattress and wanted to talk, and all the disciples were sitting around him. He had 12 disciples, by the way, who built up the organization. And suddenly he started scratching and he fell on the ground and he said, oh my God, what's happened to me? I'm, getting some kind of allergic reaction. And then the disciple who had put the money, then he came and fell at his feet and said, Thakur means God, or I did something wrong, I was trying to test you. And then he started laughing. He said, oh, so you were trying to test me, huh? So, and his favorite disciple, and he lived for only 39 years. He would have done wonders if he was, he was alive a little bit of a more time. His name was Swami Vivekananda. And he was the greatest of the great Swamis because he taught us interfaith. He said he came to Chicago with not even a penny in his pocket, not a cent. The Rajas, the kings of India, gave him some money to come over here. And then he came and he had given away most of his money to all the poor people he saw. So he didn't. Then one of the rich Americans in Chicago saw him and said, okay, you look good, okay, let's go to the Parliament of Religions. He came for the Parliament of Religions and he gave a speech. And that speech, if you can go to Google, if you read his speech, Vivekananda's speech in the Parliament of Religions, it's unbelievable. And he got a 3-minute ovation from 7,000 people over there. At first they thought, oh, Indian Swami, what is he? He looked like this. And they were all making fun of him. But when he stood and he said, and that's where he said that he said, help and not fight, assimilation and not destruction, harmony and peace and not dissension. This was in 1893. So at that time, nobody knew about interfaith. They were all fighting about conversion and all. But he came and said that we have to believe in a world where we can't fight with each other about religion. Religion is not meant to fight. Religion is supposed to make us good, not make us kill each other. Religion is something which is supposed to take us to a level higher than that of killing and all that. So he's the one, and he formed the Ramakrishna Mission Institute, which is all over the world now and doing very well. And it does a lot of good work. And also for the youth For the youth, he says, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And he says all those things about cow eating and all that. Forget about all that. Just be good, do some good work, get the world going, do good to the world, be a good leader. You know, he gives very good speeches. You should read, you Google him, go to Swami Vivekananda. You can read his speeches and they are worth reading. And the complete works of Vivekananda is also a great set of books. And I think I can end with a prayer in the end, which is said, Asatoma sadgamayo, tamasoma jyotirgamayo, mrittur mam ritam gamayo, om shanti, shanti, shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from mortality to eternity. Om peace, peace, peace. Thank you for listening.
Can you explain to us the meeting tomorrow evening? Maybe some people in the west side of LA.
Oh, okay, good. I should have brought some flyers. Tomorrow we are having UNA USA, United Nations of America, United Nations Association of USA, the Pacific Los Angeles chapter. We are having the International Human Rights Day celebration. We are having it at the Baha'i Center, which is in the Fairfax district. And we are having lots of people giving good speeches. Congresswoman Diane Watson will be awarding her with a humanitarian award. Congresswoman Karen Bass, we are awarding her. In fact, the person, this young man you saw, he's come from Baltimore. He's representing, he came from with my son. I'm using his computer, I think. He is representing the governor of Baltimore. I should have brought some. So it's from 7:30 to 9:30. And we'll have an interfaith water ceremony, which is, we believe that we are all good religions going to the same thing. But we don't believe that we are interfaith is not a mishmash. We are not a soup. We mash up all the religions and become a soup. No, we are a salad bowl. We call them. I always say we are a salad bowl. We recognize the crisp lettuce, the lovely red tomatoes, the cucumbers, the celery. So more color, the better a salad tastes. So we are a bowl of salad in the Interfaith Council, in the interfaith group, wherever we are. Interfaith is not a mishmash, not a soup combining all the religions. No, we have our own characteristics. We are very proud of them. They are very good. Each one has their own characteristic, and we have to keep our roots. We can't give up our roots and follow any other. We will keep our roots, follow our own roots, but we'll follow it all mixed up together. We'll be a garden full of multicolored flowers. If a garden is there with just one color, it would be a boring, dull garden. So we can't become just one religion. We have to be our different religions, but mixed together. So we are having a very good interfaith ceremony, and we have lovely speakers. We have a very good singer, Brenda Jackson, who sang for Scala in Paris. She's going to sing for us. We have a very good Indian dancing group. They are going to perform the Heaven of Freedom. So we are having a very good program, 7:30 to 9:30. If any one of you can attend, we would be happy to see any one of you there.
If you were interested in should I email the information?
You have the flyer.
Yeah, I have it. But at home,
You know what? When I go home, I'll also give you the latest flyer with everything.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I can distribute that. Okay. 拄则讲，更有需要搁再用台语，你拢听有啦吼，呀。那安尼咱会当省一寡时间。Okay. 我赶紧 I have some discussion.